specially CH activation. 25 PhD degree awarded under his guidance, and presently 5 research scholars are working under him. He supervised number of MPhil students and also finished number of master dissertations. He published around 103 research articles in high impact international journals. His contribution in research is reflected by his H index, which is around 18, and completed various research projects funded by UGC and other national funding agencies. He is member of various national and state level academic bodies and panel member in various selection committees. He is an advisor for UPSC New Delhi and other state public service commission for various selection committees. Sir, I humble request to you to share your expertise amongst us, and all the participants are requested to mute your audio during the session. We will have a separate question answer session after end of this session. So mute your audio during the session. Sir,
yes,
over
please.
to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Hitesh Pai, for nice introduction. Dilip Bhai, coordinator of this university. I am part of the university, Gujarat University. Earlier, I was in Gujarat University. I was professor of chemistry, appointed as professor of chemistry. Later on, I headed department also. Numbers of things are there. But first of all, I congratulate or I welcome all the participants who assembled from all over India. And I understand people may find it is little bit boring, or it is little bit some tedious, or something is there, or you may might have feel that it is mandatory. That's why I have to do. Numbers of things are there in everybody's mind. But friends, I also passed through certain stages. I also did I started as my career as a lecturer. So to reach to certain stages, the mandatory requirement is there. You have to go for a refresher orientation, and numbers of things are there that we have to do it. But today, I'm very, very happy that all young participants are there, and they are very courageous. They are more interested in research. So my talk will be based on research as well as teaching both. And we have a good discussion also at the end of the talk, or in meantime, you can ask me question. I'll be happy. Also, my mail address and everything is with a coordinator and my friend, my coordinator, HM Parekh sir, everybody. So you don't worry. You can communicate, or we can interact through mail also. There is not a problem. So let us share some. I will be talking in a organic synthesis, synthetic strategies. You might have gone through all the reactions. See, when you're teaching the students in our BScs, MScs.
Sir?
Yes, please.
Just minute. Huh? Sorry to disturb you. Ram Kohire, please stop presenting. Ram Kohire, if you are audible, if you are there, please stop sharing your screen. Thank you.
Okay. So we shall discuss some of the reaction concepts, because when we are teaching to the students, when you're asking them when teaching them practicals, theory classes, some of the mistakes are there, or some of the things are there that is little bit neglected. So we have to go each concepts individually, or what is inside in reactions, or what is insights are there that we have to find out. And then based on this, you can apply this knowledge to your research also. Because right now you must be knowing that trend is changing, and in these recent trends, if you simply teach, if you simply publish in an ordinary journal, it will not suffice the things. You have to go for a good quality of research, good quality of a research, as well as a teaching, and numbers of tools which is specified by Government of India. That is to be where we have to follow it. So simple teaching in a chalk and talk will not justify. Simple only research, that is also not justify. But summation of both the things will lead you a good chemist. And if one thing is, you have to keep it in mind, okay, we should be a strong chemist. We should not be that things, don't divulge other things. Our focus is just to development of a chemistry. Then we can do certain things. And our focus should be very strong. And as we are all teachers, because I have given talk in numbers of conferences also, and numbers of preparation courses also. Some people are not, they are passively researching these things, but this is also not justifiable. We are a teacher, see, I'm not advising you, you are just my friend, you are our brothers and sisters. I am as a colleague, I am telling you these things. So I don't speak more things regarding this introduction, but I shall be speaking on some reaction mechanisms, reaction concepts. What is reaction mechanism? What is a new molecules can be synthesized, and what research work can be published in a good quality journal. That my purpose is to convey things. So let us share this screen. So first of all, very basic question. Basic thing I'm sharing you. Yes. So I'll be talking for some synthetic strategy, cross coupling, and CH activation reactions. So first, the basic question is what? Basic question is so everybody is listening me, please listen this point. When a basic example I'm telling you, we have some reservations, or we have something regarding some reservations regarding coupling and cross coupling reaction. I am telling a simple example. Suppose we are teaching in a BSc or MSc. So let us take, for example, of a red azurite test. Red azurite, means primary aromatic amine in HCl plus NaNO2 in water. You are getting NH2 group is converted into N double bond N. That is a diazo compound. In organic chemistry, we say N is a monoazo, 2N means diazo. And this is to be condensed. We speaks is a coupling reaction, because this compound, diazo compound, we treat with a beta-rethol in NaOH, and we get the product that is a red azurite test, red azurite. And some misconception with our people that we say it is a red azurite test, is a coupling reaction, but it is not a coupling. It is simple a condensation reaction. I'm not going to discuss this point, but some peoples or some we peoples are doing some mistake. Red azurite test is there, diazo compound is coupled with beta-rethol, but don't use this word couple. It is a simple condensation of beta-rethol in NaOH. This is we have to speak. So now let us see what is a coupling reaction. I'm telling this simple coupling reactions means what? Just formation of a carbon-carbon bond. Up to now, 4 Nobel Prize are given for carbon-carbon bond formation reactions. One is a Grignard reaction, that is RMGX. Everybody knows Grignard reaction application is what? It's a tremendous application. That Grignard reaction reagent is also used for generation of a carbon-carbon bond. Next is a Wittig reaction, simple condensation reaction between carbonyl compound, phosphorus ylide. Betaine is generated, and final product, betaine is unstable, and final product you are getting, that is an alkene. Next reaction is that is of a dialcyde reaction, dienes plus dienophile, say 1,3-butadiene plus maleic anhydride, or whatsoever it may be, diene plus dienophile, and you get the carbon-carbon bond formation reaction. Again, in these reactions, we have to go for a selectivity. What is the characteristic of diene? What is the characteristic of dienophile? Likewise, numbers of things are going on. But that we don't discuss it. Let us see this point. Because one reaction which I told, that is of a Grignard reaction, a Grignard reagent. Second is of a Wittig reaction. Third one is of a dialcyde reaction. The fourth one is a olefin metathesis reaction. So these 4 Nobel Prize are given to carbon-carbon bond formation reaction. And today also, we are going to talk with a carbon-carbon, so some misunderstanding or some misconception is there. Okay, what is coupling reaction? What is a cross-coupling reaction? Let us clarify these things. What is a coupling and what is a cross-coupling reaction? Just I'm reading this point. The term coupling reaction refers to the class of organic reactions involve the joining of 2 chemical species. Important coupling reaction is what? One is an organic halide and one is a metal. Halide and metal, both reactions. I will discuss these points in detail also, don't worry. Yeah, halide, alkyl halide, and a metal on reactions with inert transition metals or palladium or platinum or nickel, whatever the compounds we are using, and it forms a carbon-carbon bond, that is R1, R2 reactions. This is known as a coupling reaction. Coupling is divided into various classes, but major I'm telling you first is a homocoupling and one is a heterocoupling. So homocoupling means what? Two identical chemical species are combined to form a single product. And hetero means what? Two dissimilar chemical species join together and form a single product. So this is a simple homocoupling, heterocoupling. Again, various classes are there, various things are there. That this is a glimpse of coupling reactions I have discussed with you. I'm discussing with you. But friends, how the concept has arose and how this thing has led in its development of an organic synthesis, that we have to find out. See, earlier we have studied Wood's reaction. That is what simple Rx plus sodium plus Rx, we get the product that is RR. So one question arises here, why this reaction is depleted, or why we don't use this one, and we are going for cross-coupling reactions. We are using for palladium reaction. Earlier sodium was used, alkyl halide was there, and people used to go for RR bond. But remember, friends, we just let us discuss. We discuss more and more things. Our concepts will be clear, and we elaborate the things. Because my purpose is to discuss this thing in which direction, where a small strategy can form a building blocks of a drug molecule. Because in India, our Honorable Prime Minister is always telling that Atmanirbhar Bharat or Atmanirbhar, self-reliant and self-confidence. I use one word, that self-reliant and self-confidence, that should be developed. That's why we have to go in that direction. What a new strategy we are developing, and what a new things we can do, which can be a publishable work. Your work you're doing in your simple laboratory, that can be published, because our purpose is what? Our purpose is to show the society our research should be helped to the society. Then it has a value. Otherwise, you just keep everything in your custody. There's no sense if your work is not utilized by anybody else's. It has no sense then. In this reaction, yes. So Wood's reactions I was talking. Later on, Ullmann reaction has come. For old people, they used to condense halide, copper, halide, and they go for carbon-carbon bond formation reaction. Friends, I'm telling you, I have discussing this point, the mechanism of Ullmann reaction also. But in Ullmann reaction, that time when Ullmann reaction was discovered, electron was not discovered. So the older people, they couldn't propose the mechanism of a Ullmann reaction. But by discovery of this cross-coupling reaction, we are simply proposing the Ullmann mechanisms. So I'm showing that slide also. I have prepared to this one slide for Ullmann reaction also. Later on, when the chemistry is developed, simple, we ask the student one question, how we are preparing chlorobenzene to phenol. See the example, the CH3Cl, ethyl chloride, NaOH, I am getting CH3OH very easily. CH3Cl, NaOH, CH3OH. But let us one step ahead. A chlorobenzene to phenol, it is not possible. It is difficult reaction, because various book has written, it is a common thing. A chlorobenzene to phenol, chlorobenzene you take, add NaOH, and you're getting phenol. It's not possible. We understand the chemistry. Chlorobenzene in this case is a benzene, is a sp2 hybridization. Electrons are rotated towards the small sextets. Incoming group is OH group, and it is entering, and there is a repulsion between the delocalized pi electron of a benzene and the nucleophile OH. So both repels. And to make this reaction possible, one electron withdrawing group is to be entered. That is a orthonitro-chlorobenzene is there. You can easily prepare orthonitrophenol. 2,4-dinitro-chlorobenzene is there. You can prepare phenol. 2,4,6 is there. So what is our reason? If nitro group, electron withdrawing group at ortho and para position, we can write the maximum resonance structures. And a compound having a maximum resonance structure, compound is stable. This is our strategy, or this is our understanding. One more thing I'm telling you, suppose chlorobenzene to aniline, so we just simple treat with NaNH2, sodiamide in ammonia. The reaction is proceeding through a benzyne mechanism and Cl is replaced with NH2. This also we have studied only. But that is also a drastic conditions. I will discuss every point and then we'll find out either trivial things, what we did earlier, that is good, or what we are adapting new things, it is good. So we will find out it's a difference between these two. So then our concepts can be more and more clear. So this reaction, I'm telling just little bit history here. Okay, in this reaction, this coupling reactions, these are some of the reactions I'm telling you. Kumara, everybody, see numbers. So I am just taking some glimpse of these reactions only. I'm not taking the whole things only, but since it's simple, it's a glimpses of this reaction. Okay, this reaction, yes, this is a Kumara, 1972, Heck, Sonogasira, Negisi. I say the reactants are different. Some people say alkene, alkyne, Zn, Sn, and this subtract means the reactant is a. This guy says subtract, and this you can say addition reagents. On this can be said as a catalyst. These are the various things. Reactant 1 and 2 reactant I have mentioned here, but it is all are subjected for a substrates of this one basic substrate, that is a alkyl halide only or aryl halide. Actually, why this reaction becomes a popular after a award of a Nobel Prize to Negisi. Everybody knows this one. Negisi, Suzuki, and Heck. Nobel Prize was given in 2010, then this reaction becomes a popular. But friends, this reaction is already established earlier, long back. I'm just telling one a glimpse of the Heck, because in a very Nobel laureate speech, or he is mentioned in his bibliography that he was a junior chemist in 1972, where he was working as a junior chemist in a Becker's laboratory, where they were using acetylene to acetaldehyde, and they were using palladium as a catalyst. When he asked to ask the seniors, but he understand the senior didn't respond him, and he kept on reading more and more readings regarding palladium catalyst, and he established one paper as the mechanism of palladium, and he published one paper in 1972 in a JACS, that is a 1972, a simple olefin plus alkyl halide. In business of palladium, he got some sterile derivatives, and that was identified. The Heck is doing something work, and in the consecutive year, he has published about 8 papers in JACS and JOCS. So he was more popularized. Later on, he kept on reading, and his work was identified in 2009, and where he was awarded Nobel Prize. I'm discussing still. I'm telling you, whenever I'm discussing any cross-coupling reactions, I used to speak regarding Heck. Heck is always, he's a pioneer. Later on, everybody has come. So this is one slide I have shown you that it is what is the history of these reactions. Actually, basically, what is the requirement for the compound or transition metal to be used as a cross-coupling reactions? So basic things we see, we always have to keep a periodic table. So in a periodic table, we understand okay, what is, I'm just telling one point, yes, this one. We can see, keep on periodic table, and we can see okay, these are the various elements, groups are here. But this is compound, you can say nickel, palladium, platinum. I have written the red men because I'm going to discuss with these reactions. Again, zinc, cadmium, mercury is there, Fe, copper, like this is are there. So what is the basic requirement? Okay, any metal, they try to become noble. Noble means they satisfy the 18 electron rule or 8 electron rule likewise. So in this reaction, the basic reaction is what? If a complex satisfied 18 electron rule, for a stable metal complex, it means that the metal at the center of the complex has a noble gas configuration, that is a 18 electron in a valence shell. The total 18 electron is coming through which? So we can find if 2 electron, we understand S, P, D orbitals, okay, 2, 6, and 10. So 10 is of a D orbital, 6 of a P, and 2 of a S. So this is 10 plus 6 plus 2 is 18. This 18 electron is coming. Likewise, in this metal, you can find if you want to use copper, again, you require more energies, more electrons are required. You can use Fe also, you can use Mn also, Cr also, but as we are going to left-hand side, again, more electrons are required to get it the noble configurations. So This is one thing I'm telling you. Yes, this is a 1 minute. Stable complex. Okay. Stable complex. Yes. Okay. Later on, I will discuss this point. Now, stability is there. A compound is stable. See what we define as a catalyst. Okay, the stable compound is there. Catalyst, what we are teaching to student. Okay, catalyst does not participate in reaction, but it accelerates the rate of reaction. It's okay. But in addition to this, we have to find one more thing. Okay, a metal is a stable complex is there. Stable in this case, compounds is resting stage. See, we people also becomes stable. We don't work. If instability is coming, then we start working. Likewise, you see why we are doing repressor course. We are already settled here, so we don't do it. But government made it mandatory. That's why a little bit we activate it. We feel it. It's a distability is there. And distability, that's why we start working only. So likewise, in chemistry also, initially it is useful to have stable complexes that will have significant lifetime, enabling the study and idea storage. However, once in a reaction vessel, the stability is actually a disadvantage, and it implies a slow reactivity. So, what exactly for an ideal catalyst? The ideal catalyst is a complex that is stable in resting state. Stable in resting stage means used for storage, but quickly becomes activated in a solution. Perhaps what way this can be activated is by losing the ligand. One stable compound is there, it will not use. But if you dissociate and ligand, if you remove it, then little bit it gets disturbed, but it starts activating. Likewise, that also be some threshold level should be there. The threshold level is there, then we can stop. Threshold level is there, then we can go for further addition reactions. Now I'm discussing each point, please. This one. Just listen this point. The valence electrons in a transition metal complexes. The metals on the left hand side. Again, I'm just yes, this one I'm telling you this point. Metals on the left hand side, it requires this side. 10 is there, it is satisfied. 18 electron system. But if you copper, if you want to use Fe, if you want to use Mn, Cr, so it requires more energy. Yes, metals on the left hand side of table need many more electrons to make up to magic 18. 18. I don't use this word, but it's a magic. 18 we can say because a stabilized compound is 18 magic is there. We can say it's a magic number 18 or 10 electron system. It's a stable complexes. The chromium example we can see everybody is teaching in a basis some Zeiss salts, ferrocene structures. These are dibenzene alkyl chromium. These compounds are been teaching. But there is a stable. What is how the computing of the oxidation state that we are listening here. The chromium, for example, this is a benzene chromium is this one. We can say this is a benzene 6 electron. Cr is a 6. Each CO 6 donates 6 electron. So this can 6 and benzene 6 means it is going to 18 electron system. Likewise, tetrak is triphenylphosphine. This one. So each phosphate ligand is there. Triphenylphosphine. It donates 2 electron. This phosphine donates 2 electron. This donates 2 electron. So this leads to 18. Total number is 18. Perhaps there are exceptions. 18 electron rule indicating metal complex. This is titanium, zirconium, nickel, palladium, platinum, which all have a stable 16 electron complex also. Now, a stable 16 electron palladium 2 complexes. This is example. Methyl cyanide is there. This is MeCN twice. PDCl2. They are 16 electron complex also stable. Again, we can find this one, MeCN to this one, PDCl2. This is a simple counting of electrons, 8 electrons, 4 electrons. This is a simple things only. But let us see what we are finding here, stability and its activations. That is things. So you can simply find, okay, let us see the basic chemistry of palladium. So this is the oxidative addition. So now PDL4 is there. What I just now I told you, this is like this. L4 means one triphenylphosphine, other triphenylphosphine, triphenylphosphine. I say is a L ligand. This ligand you say is a triphenylphosphine. Now this is a stable complex. A stable complex will not work because it is stability is there. We say it is a resting stage. It will not work. But it should destabilize, not actually destabilize. But to make it active, it is to be a little bit disturbed, or we can do by dissociate by destabilize. Let's get to go proceed for reactions. So it should be solvated. So this by solutions, one ligand is lost, and we are getting a PDL3. Now you can just meantime you can find out here 18 electron system is there. Each ligand donates 2 electron, 2, 2, 2, means 18. This palladium is 10, 18. Loss of 1 means 16 electron system. We can find oxidation state is there. This is 0 oxidation state because all ligands are neutral. So now this everybody can understand this point. This is I have shared it. This is also you can understand this one. PD10 is there. So 2 electrons is 18 electron system. That is also correct. Everybody has seen. This also I am sharing again. PDL4 is there. It dissociates to L3. L3 is again dissociated to L2. Now this point you see, PDL4 is there. 18 electron system. It is unreactive. Means oxidation status of palladium is 0 because this all ligands are neutral ligand. So it dissociates. One ligand is lost. So it's a PDL3 is here. Each ligands are neutral. So we can say PD is how many is each ligand donates 2 electron. 2, 2, and 2 means 6. Palladium is 10. 10 into 2 plus 6 is 16 electron. Still, it is a little bit. It is a unstable, not less stable, but it is existing. Oxidation state of this one is a 0. This is also 0. Again, losses 1 ligand. So 2L is there. Now it is a PDL2. PDL2. Again, this is a 14 electron. You can find each ligand donates 2 electron, 18 electron, 16 electron, and a 14 electron. Now, 40, again, it can lose ligand, but if it loses a ligand, it is a question of its existence. That's why we say it is a threshold level. Now it is going for oxidative addition, Rx oxidative addition, and this structure is coming PDL2RX. Now this we say the oxidation state of palladium changes from 0 up to here 0, 0, 0. Now oxidative addition of Rx means it becomes a PD2. Oxidation state of palladium changes 2. And we understand oxidative addition means you understand everybody. Oxidative addition, oxidation means what? Loss of electron, that is oxidation, gain of electron, that is reduction. Each R and X share 1 electron. So the oxidation state of palladium changes from 0 to 2. We can find here. And then here in this case, the palladium chemistry is dominated by 2 oxidation state. PD0 electron rich present in tetracrystalline phosphine, what I told here, PDPH54, undergoes oxidative addition with soluble organic substrates like halides, triplets, or pseudo-halide, resulting in PD2 complexes. And oxidative addition is thought to occur on the coordinating unsaturated 14 electron species formed by ligand dissociation solution. Now see the simple, I'm just a little bit elaborating more things. What I told you, all cross-coupling reaction has a one principle. It is going for is a, see the basic thing I am telling you first, and then I will share again. So it's a PDL4 is there. Common step is what? PDL4 is going to L3, is going to L2. L2 is going for oxidative addition. Next is a transmetallation. Then is a reductive elimination, and you get a product. This is the route only. All reactions, because I will share my research also in the direction. And all reactions, I am telling you, all reactions are put in a one-pot reaction. Don't have to, just like a cascade type reaction. So various step I'm just explaining. PD0 is there, ERX is there, it is going for oxidative addition. We have to find only one point. If 0 is there, it is converted to oxidation state PD2. And here some notes is to be noted here. The oxidative addition step increases the oxidation state by metal by or oxidate the metal by 2. Therefore, it occurs most readily with electron-rich metals, and when the metal is in a relatively low oxidation state, that is PD0, it cannot occur when the metal is already in highest oxidation level. Basically, you can find here, if you have PD2 is there, it is not going for PD4 again. If you are going some RH compounds are there, halides are there, pseudo-halides are there, its oxidation state changes. The reaction proceeds most readily when the carbon is a sp2 hybridized, that is particularly for aryl halide or a vinyl halide. Next step is a transmetallation. This is simple. I'm not going to discuss this point here. Okay, R1M, R2M, this is 1M, R is going to R2 and R2 is going to M2, like this structure here. Next is a reductive elimination. It is a reverse to oxidation reaction, that is removes metal atom and forms single bond. Reverse of oxidation reaction. It is simple. This is PD2 is there. By reductive elimination, it is converted to PD0 and XY. Your species you are getting back. Now let's see reaction, friends. It is a very interesting point. You can interrupt me also, no problem. Hack reaction, because in my all lectures I used to elaborate hack reaction only, because I like to acknowledge hack, and I still referring Professor Hack's papers. Sir is publishing paper, and I am more interested to see his paper, and I am getting some inspiration with his paper. And one of the reactions I have done, that is a reverse of hack reaction. What I thought, okay, this reaction is existing or not, and I could able to do it, and I could publish it, publication in a good journal. So simple preamble of this reaction is what? Okay, this RX, you can say this one, aryl iodide. It is going for olefin, this compound, this olefin in penelope catalyst. This is a sterile reduced, they got it. It was the first paper published in 1972. And it's a JOC, hack. Now what is mechanism? Mechanism, friends, little bit I'm discussing this point, is a very interesting point. In direct mechanisms, you will not able to understand perfectly, but I am just discussing this point with a stepwise manner. Now this PDOC twice is there, PD0 is there. Friends, this step, you see my arrow here, this one arrow I'm just keeping here. This PD0 is there. This step, it comes from where? PDL4 is there. It is a very common step. PDL4 is there. This is L4 is there. Is dissociate to PDL3, PDL2. So this is a PDL2 stage. PDL2. PD0 is there. PDL2. L2 is this step. Now this PDL2 step is going for oxidative addition, that is RX. This step is there, RX is there, so it is a PD2. I have not mentioned here because it's this one, but this step, you see this arrow I am just keeping here, it is a PDL2, PDRX is there, oxidation state is a 2. Now you can see one point, PDRX is there, here in both sides, LL is there, because basic structure is called PDL2 plus RX, means all the 4 valencies, all the 4 sides are blocked here. Now it is to be reacted with a olefin, this compound. So when a question arises here, okay, what way the olefin is adding here? What way the addition is taking place? Because all the 4 sides are block of palladium. So that time a coordination reaction takes place. Remember, friends, this is a double bond is here. It starts for coordination, and as start for coordinating sharing electron pair, meantime, one ligand is being lost from this palladium RX species, this species. One ligand is lost, and one ligand, it is in the solution, and it will, when it is in the solution, it is in situ only, and whereas the ligand is lost here, this pi bond starts sharing with a palladium, and it forms a complexes, coordination takes place, and a coordination takes place, and when coordination takes place, immediately the ligand is again reinserted to palladium, and this situation is arises here. Now you can see this point, a double bond is lost, and double bond is nothing but it is being sharing electron pair with a palladium, and this compound is generated. Again, re-addition of a ligand, and you get these products. Now this is RH, this you can find here, and in this reaction again, it is transmitted, it is transferred, it is going for internal rotation. This compound is going for internal rotation. This H is going this side, R is going back side. Internal rotation takes place, and this internal rotation in which it is more facilitated to go for a cis elimination reaction, and this RX HX is eliminated here. H, this you can find here. This H and one X is eliminated here. This one and PDHX, and this is generation of a double bond. This double bond, cis elimination. Double bond is generated. Again, this HX is eliminated. Again, the cycle is going on. PDHX is there. This we can say is reductive elimination. Reductive elimination, HX is lost, and we are getting PD0. And again, cycle is just going on. So this point, friends, keep this point very particularly, because in this chemistry, See, all cross-coupling reactions we are using, but in this case, reaction one PD and one X is added. This step we can say is not cross-coupling, but we say not transmetallization, but we say it is a carbopalladation reaction. More hindered side is there, where H is added, and other side free, where PD is added. This step we say is a carbopalladation reaction. So this is a hack reaction only. So again, I am discussing what other reagent. I will discuss 2-3 reactions, and then I will discuss some CH activation reactions. Because all cross-coupling reactions is not possible to discuss at this juncture. So I am telling this one. So when a question arises, I am just sharing one thought with you. Once in an interview, I had been to an interview and I asked one student, if I want to chlorobenzene to phenol or RX something, immediately the answer is this possible, likewise. So in this case, I am simply telling one thing. Anybody, I am telling you, one I am telling chlorobenzene, one molecule I am taking bromobenzene, I mix it, and I am getting a biphenyl. Please see this point. I am getting one chlorobenzene, one bromobenzene. If I just do some reaction, and I combine this one, and I am getting a biphenyl. So it is a little bit miracle, we can say. What way this is possible? Friends, listen this point. This is a BOH twice I have mentioned, boron ester or boron hydroxides, boronic acid. Various way, I am telling this point, just keep this point. One RX is there, C is a Cl, one is a boronic acid. But what way boronic acid can be prepared? Go for halide, bromobenzene. Keep this as silent. This is silent. I am telling you the preparation of this molecule, boronic acid. Simple, go for a bromobenzene, add magnesium, so you will get a Grignard reagent, MgBr. This MgBr is there. Treat with a boron trichloride, you will get a BCl thrice. Go for a base, you get this boronic acid. It's very simple. I have mentioned here various methods. Okay, boronic acid can be obtained by several methods. One is this one. The most common way is reaction of organometallic compound based on lithium or magnesium. That's Grignard and boron esters. Phenyl boronic acid is also prepared by the same method. Another method is reaction of aryl scalene with a boron tribromide in a transmetallations to RBr2 followed by acidic hydrolysis. Third method is by palladium catalyzed reaction of aryl halide triplets or boron esters in coupling reactions. That is a boronic acid. Simple, friends. Mechanism is very common. I will discuss the common mechanisms because I like to share some new research. What way is some research can be done on this type of reactions? Sometimes I'm telling you, some basic chemistry is there, and a basic chemistry leads to a very advanced chemistry where you can publish a paper. So again, this reaction in which PD0 is there, is going for oxidative addition, you are getting this step. It is simple going for transmetallation, and you are getting the product. This one, RR1, this one product is generating. But I am telling you this point, listen this point. What is the chemistry behind this? So in this case, RX is there. Please try to understand, friends. RX is there. It is going for a palladium. This PD, LX, R2, PD2 is there. Now boronic acid is there. BOH, OH is there. We can see the very minutely the configuration of boron. Start from a basic chemistry. 1s2, 2s2, 2px. Boron is a 5 carbon. 1s2, 2s2, 2px. Go for excited state. 2s1, 2px1, 2py1. Insert with a base. So you can find that boron will not sustain the negative charge, more negative charge, and this boron will be detached from this nucleus. This point you can find nucleus. And where palladium is a plus charge, where it is going to cross-coupling reaction, and you get the product, which is followed by reductive elimination, and you get the product. See, all the chemistry, I cannot discuss this. I don't discuss, but one reaction is this one you can understand. PDL0 is there, going for oxidative addition. This step is coming. It is this RX is there. This is a very crucial step where R1M I have mentioned here. You can write R is a phenyl nucleus, M is a boronic acid, BOH, OH, and start writing phenyl ring, BOH, OH, on in presence of NaOH, start writing the configuration of 1s2, 2s2 like that only. And then you'll find metal and R here. Metal, boron, this must sustain both negative charge. That's why it is detaching from this species, and that is a cross-coupling reaction. And this metal and X, means this halide, is going out, and you are getting this structure. And this structure, this compound, on elimination, you are getting R1, R2 back like this. So I'm telling you, when we are teaching the student, when you're learning the student, we understand the reaction, we have to start with a lot of things, and we have to make more and more efforts. Even we have to work like a small KG student. Okay, what is carbon? I don't know the valence of carbon also. So what way I can discover valency? 4 valencies, 1s2, 2s, I keep on writing. And when, well, sometimes what happens, I'm telling you, whenever I'm doing, if I am doing a big macromolecule, big molecule I design, and sometimes the thing has come in mind, no, the basic chemistry, I don't know the basic chemistry, what it has taken place. That time we have to become like a small child. Now we start working with the carbon valencies only, 1s2, 2s2 like that only. Then our concept becomes clear. Sometimes I'm asking my student also, okay, no, I don't understand. You tell me. Then my student is explaining me, no, sir, this is things only. Sometimes we are preparing a building block, but we leave minor thing also. So by that way, this is when I'm doing some medicinal chemistry, this is a very versatile compound. All Cl are easily replaceable. So we have replaced 1Cl, 1Cl, 2Cl replaceable. It's a very beautiful chemistry molecule. But my purpose is to show one diversity in a molecule. So this compound, I explore this reaction. This is a very common reaction. Everybody knows this reaction. But this compound, I have prepared a boronic acid, and it was condensed with this compound. So this Br, this compound, we got it. This carbon-carbon bond formation. This is this point. This Cl is there. I prepared one boronic acid, and this compound, para-aminoboronic acid, and this compound, we got it. In this reaction, I'll be getting this compound. You can see this. I'm just sharing my thoughts here. In this chemistry, what I did, simple acetanilide was taken, acetanilide, then did bromination, the para-bromoacetanilide. I prepare a Grignard boronic acid. That's para-acetanilide in para position. We have gone through and para position of the bromo boronic acid, and this Cl, that is Rx, we can say, and a boronic acid. We have gone through this CC bond formation, this bond formation, and rest NHCO3 group was there. It was hydrolyzed to NH2 group, and it was further explored. And my paper has published in a European Journal of Medicinal Chemistry in 2014. Okay, now let us Sono-Casillas reaction. So Sono-Casillas reaction is also very interesting. sp2 and sp hybridizations. sp2, sp hybridization. This is a amine alkyne groups are. This is a very beautiful chemistry. I'm telling you. This is a Rx. See, to looking this reaction, it is very simple. But if you execute this, execution is very, very interesting. That point I'm discussing with you. Mechanism is very common. Starting material is the iodobenzene or chlorobenzene or bromobenzene. Go for oxidative addition. So this is a very common reaction here. Now in this chemistry, very interesting point. Again, there's a coordination chemistry is coming, where you start writing. Here this mention we have copper we have written. But how this copper is a hook here, it is a good chemistry. Just writing RC triple bond CH, copper cuprous chloride you are using or cuprous iodide you are using. You can find again the basic chemistry, CD10, 4S0, go for excited state, and then it starts coordination of this bond. This triple bond is getting coordination, and we get amine is there. Amine is that's one X, and this is going for this reactions, this compound. So we can just in one compound we can find the species at one instance. What will happen? RC triple bond CCU. This is one process step is here. RC triple bond CCU. So we can find a Cu is an electropositive metal and a carbon is a minus charge. So this minus charge carbide C minus is there. It is attacking to palladium, and we get this species you can see. This species. Now this is going for reductive elimination, and you get this product, this compound. Particularly this alkyne compounds has a beautiful chemistry. They are used in a anti-HIV compounds, because you understand virus compounds are there. Virus chemistry. Right now, everybody is facing the situation of the COVID-19 situation. The virus disease is there. So in virus, what happens? Virus is technically not living, but it gets activated in the body. You know that in ACE, this is COVID. One is a ACE, that is a angiotensin converting enzyme. It is supporting it. The virus is infected the body. It will first reacting with this one enzyme is supporting. It gets replicated and new virus is generated. And in all virus, virus is always infected the body. It gets replicated and new virus is generated. And again, new virus, because every stage enzymes are supporting, and enzymes is supporting and new virus supporting in getting a replication cycle and new virus is generated. And unless you know the structure of virus, you cannot prepare the medicine. That's what body is facing now. And in particular, this is a two pi bonds are there, very susceptible. So these compounds can inhibit the virus enzymes. That's why this alkyne compounds has a good chemistry. I am discussing in the next few slides. So this reaction is this one, Rx is there, this is compound. Now, this point, what I told earlier, here new researchers are there, young people are there, they're more interested in research. See, those students, so this compound is a quinoline, everybody knows, 4,7-dichloroquinoline. I have taken simple molecule, which is easily available in the market, 4,7-dichloroquinoline. Its a synthesis also simple, 4 positions is more reactive. The 4 position was blocked by morpholine, and we wanted to explore the CL because it's an MSc student and they are going for dissertation and the work should be completed within 3 months. So what this is a CL is there. I tried to go for acetylene only. There's alkynes because some of the alkyne was with me and one student was interested. He said, I want to do dissertation on this Sonogacera reaction only. So with simple, this CL was replaced with this one. This compound we got it. But you know this compound, when you are publishing the paper, immediately while publishing the paper, you should write the justification of your work or what is the novelty in your work. And if you don't write this, mention this one, if you fail to give the novelty and justification of work, your work is papers out. We mention here, friends, I am telling you, okay, this is Sonogacera reaction. Just now I told you some of the chemistry here. Okay, they are going for supported by palladium, by copper catalyst reaction, but we have not used copper. Now we started with only palladium, and it means dioxin solvent and a bypass of air only. Cesium carbonate was used, the tetrachistyrphosphine was used, and we got this compound. And a paper has come in it, ChemSelect, that is 2017. So this reaction mechanism is very simple. What novelty we have shown is we perform the Sonogacera reactions, but not by using copper, because Sonogacera is going for copper only. But we have simply gone through palladium and the air was oxidizing agent. See the chemistry here, I'm telling you, discussing the mechanism. Okay, this compound PDL2 is there. First common step is what ARX, PDL2. Again, for coordination of this compound is coordination of this compound. And in base, HX is eliminated here, and we got this compound. Now this was going for next step is reductive elimination, and we got this compound. Again, PD0 is there, cyclase is going on. So this reaction can be performed without copper. I'm telling you, you can perform by using some other metals, or you can go for simple Fe also. And Fe also you can find if ferrous is going from Fe1 to Fe2, Fe3, or Fe1 to 3. Likewise, situation also arises. Or you can go for this type of reactions. Okay, now let us see. I was talking to you Ullmann reaction. When Ullmann reaction was discovered, electron was not discovered. And at that time, people used to go by coupling of this one, chlorobenzene, and copper, and you get this compound. But I am showing you the mechanism of this reaction. Simple copper is there. This is going single electron transfer. This is bond is going for these reactions, and this COX is going out, CU1, cuprous, and radical. And this radical, both radical combine, and you are getting a biphenyl. Now, in addition to this, let us go for the interesting point. You know that what I told, Rx is there, plus palladium, so PD2. R is sharing 1 electron, X is sharing electron, PD2 is generated. So in this case also the same things. Let us postulate, let us write these mechanisms. If this ARX is there, I am going for copper 0, oxidative addition. Now we understand what I told, Rx plus PD, so R, PDL2, PD0, L2, plus Rx, the PdL2 is there. C analog of this one, X is there, copper I am using. This is going oxidative addition. The oxidation state of copper changes to 2, Cu2X. This right? Cu2X. Again, because in a Ullmann reaction, 2 chlorobenzene plus 2 copper. 2 chlorobenzene plus 2 copper and go for and we get biphenyl. So this is Cu2X is there. Again, 2 copper we are using. 1 copper we are using and we got this state. Another copper I am telling you, and we are taking another halide. Again, another copper. So this Cu1 is separated and you are getting Cu1. You can see this point, Cu1. Now Cu1 is there, oxidative state copper is 1. It is going for oxidative addition. This is C. What I'm telling you, we are taking 2 copper and 2 halide. So 1 copper we have used, another copper we are using, and we got copper 1. It is going for oxidative addition. So this is 1 is there, 2 electrons are added, so 1 is converted to 3. So it is a 3. You know that Rx is there, PD0 we have studied, PD0, Rx, PD2. So likewise, 1 is there, oxidative addition is there, so 1 is converted to 3. Here 3 is there. And this is going for reductive elimination, and we get this compound. So this is a very good example of a, or you can say it is a mechanism of a Ullmann reaction. In this, what is the beauty of this reaction? The oxidative state of copper is changes from 0 to 2, again back to 1, again back to 3, and again 1. This is the things in a taking place in a Ullmann reactions. So now with these reactions, where I'm doing simple chemistry here. The CuNH2, this is very common reaction. CuNH2 is there. I'm not going to discuss this point, but simple reaction. My purpose is this only. NHNH2 is there. E plus iodobenzene, simple. Now we know that the concept I told you, chlorobenzene or iodobenzene, simple the aromatic nucleus, they are not working, but we made it possible through copper catalyzed reaction. With copper catalyzed reaction, CN bond formation, and a copper means of copper air oxidation state, and we get this compound. This is also sulfur is there, SH is there. Perhaps we know that SH is more acidic, it can be replaced, but it is to be reacted with the iodobenzene to get this thioethyl linkages. Now this paper, this we have prepared in my laboratory. We proposed one mechanism also. The copper is there for oxidative addition. This ERX is generated. And this situation in which first is aerial oxidation, ERX is there. This is going for a simple NH2 group, and we get this compound, and we are getting amine compounds. Now this our paper has come in a Journal of Heterocell Chemistry. This is old 2015 I have published one paper that is a heterocell chemistry. Yes. Now one more thing. Just now, one more thing I'm telling you. Okay, this is the morpholine structure. 4-chlorine is established. 5th one is there. It is subjected for hydrogen hydrate, and it is subjected for Ullmann reaction. You can find we get this compound. This compound we got it. One more thing I'm showing here. Let us see. This is interesting point. Okay, cuprous chloride you are taking. This UCl oxygen state is a 1. It is going for hydrogen hydrate. Simple reaction. So we got HCl is eliminated, and we got one H is replaced, and we got copper is inserted here. CuNH2. It is treated with this one 7-chloro is to functionalize. It is going for oxidative addition reaction, and here we can find copper is also oxidation state is a 1. Now 1 is changes to 3, and this is followed by reductive elimination. We got this compound, and this paper has come in a Research and Chemical Intermediates. That is in 2018 we have published this paper, and it was a pure biological active compounds. But this was in the earlier time I did some chemistry. Still some of my students are working for biological active compound. But my focus is to develop some chemistry. That is the prime importance. Development of chemistry is it leads to you feel some enjoyable things. I'm telling you. Now this is a simple one reaction. This is a cross-coupling reactions is in various disadvantages. Okay, both coupling partners are every reaction has advantages, disadvantages. If we don't find disadvantages, I go on working in the same reactions. But what some of the disadvantages I find here? Okay, both coupling partners must be pre-activated. Various toxic materials are used, and they are hazardous, and they are some of the point that is economic alternative also we find. Now we are going for some of the next generation, that is of a CH bond activation reactions. See, this is a very interesting point. I'm telling you, first I shown you a chlorobenzene plus aniline, something cross-coupling product, we got it. That is CC bond formation reaction. But here, when a CH bond functionalization or activation, where we don't have required any halogen, we don't have required any tosyl, we don't have required any tosyl, it's a pseudo halides. But simple, for example, I'm telling you, we can go for both benzene. See this example, that's why I've written very simple things. Benzene, but both benzene combined, and we get a diphenyl. This reaction you can see. So this we can say a synonymous and nucleoid CH bond activation, direct relations across dehydrogen coupling, and CH transformations can be defined as a conversion of carbon-hydrogen bond to carbon-carbon bond, carbon-carbon or carbon-hetero bond. This example, this is called CH activation, exactly chemistry is this one. Here is the HX is there, we can go for this reaction. This also, to speak and execution, both are different things. People say H simple, the people do not have depth in chemistry. They simple say one H and X is eliminated and we get this compound. But friends, it's a so difficult reaction. There is common mechanism, plastic pathways I'm just showing here. Here, given the RX is, see, this is one interesting point you can understand here. This PD0 is there, is going for oxidative addition. So 0 is converted into 2 transmetallation, and this is 0. This reaction leads to elimination, and we get this product. Let us see one point. PDOC is there, RH is there. I'm not using a halide. So that time, oxygen state of palladium is 2 here, it remains 2 only. There's never change. So the oxygen state is changes when it is going from RX is added, then its oxygen state is changes. Otherwise, RH is there, it remains as usual only. Now let us discuss one point. This I'm just interesting one interesting reaction. I'm sharing my thought with you. That's an aldehyde plus orthoiodochlorobenzene, and this compound we got it. That is a very interesting molecule. It's a 9 fluoronones. You must be knowing, or Dr. Vasawa will agree with me, that is Tellurone is there. It's a beautiful anti-cancer compound. We prepare a Tellurone anti-cancer compound by the same synthetic strategies. It's a very interesting chemistry. Now people are finding iodo and chlorobenzene. Both are reacted the same. What way this can be eliminated? What can be reactions are taking place? Also, we can find CHO group is there. Everybody must be knowing, okay, if R-cellulose group is there, so H can be easily eliminated. RCO, OCH3. But aldehyde H is not possible to eliminate. So you know that we are going for an Umplong reaction, diethyene chemistry we are doing. So this H can be going for a reverse polarity. But in these reactions, we have done this reaction by simple transition catalyst reactions. You please see this point. I'm showing my mechanism. This paper has come in tetrahedron in 2018. It is a derivative of a Tellurone derivatives. So it is a very interesting point is here in this simple pyrrolidine we have used. The pyrrolidine was subjected for to acetyl pyrrolidine, and in this NHCOCl3 you can understand here this is going for bond with palladium, and a KCO3 is eliminated, base is used, and it has formed this salt. Intermediate salt is this one. And this salt is prepared. This is a very interesting point here. And this compound was activated by aldehyde, and where my purpose is to H. I wanted to find out the option of a H to activate this H of a aldehyde. So to avoid the congestion of a this congestion of the diethyene derivatives, that is Umplong, we activated this point CHO, this one, and we have prepared this compound KCO3 and this salt, and this salt is reacted with a iodo or iodochlorobenzene. Then we understand the reactivity first. This is the compound, Cl is idle. First reaction is iodobenzene, iodine, and this compound we can say find this compound PDN. This one, but L is there, but PD. What is the iodine is it is simple going for oxidative addition reaction. PDI complex is generated here. Now this is this reaction is which NCOCH3 is there. Aldehyde we have activated here, and it makes a complex here. I'm just showing, milk it. Yes, this one is here PD, and this is going for oxidative addition where iodine is more reacting here. This is adding. Now this INCl, this ICl is there, and this makes elimination at H of this one, and we got this complex here. This ICl is here, and this H is activating here, and we got this compound. Finally, we got this compound. This H is here, and we got this compound. It's a Tilleron type derivatives, it's a furan derivatives, and we submitted the paper. We have written only it is a domino reactions. This is the title we have written. Palladium catalyzed domino reactions. Domino means it is a cascade reaction. One is addition getting activated, another starts reacting, and we get this work. So this paper has come in Tetrahedron 2018. Again, one thing, what I told you, I always share my thoughts with a Hack reaction. So one Hack reaction is there. Again, I'm telling you, one Hack has published one paper, Mauritani, this one reaction. When alkyl benzene is there, olefin, they got the compound. What inspiration has this paper has inspired me? So what I did here, this reaction, see, this is a organic chemist or medicinal chemist must be knowing this reaction, has already known. It is a antibiotic. This is called penicillin also contains this thiazolidine nucleus. I'm telling a simple reaction, aldehyde plus amine, you prepare a skip base, cyclized with thioglycolic acid, thiazolidinone, where my purpose is to activate this H, because we know that is active methylene compound. Methylene compound means it is both sides are electron withdrawing groups, so it becomes activated. And that was the purpose to activate this H, and this is reacting with the acetylene compound, alkyne compounds, alkyne olefins, and we got this compound. And this is a reaction. It is a reverse Hack reaction. See, Hack reaction and reverse Hack reaction. And this paper has come in molecular diversity. I'm telling you this mechanism. That, you know, that friend, I always do reaction in a very economic compounds, economically available catalyst like Fe, copper, that I'm interested. So this H was planned to activate here, and we inserted, this is a palladium is inserted, then olefin was reacted, and it is going to this stages here. And in this case, we have gone through a Hofmann elimination type reaction, that is a beta H, and a beta H easily snatches out, is removed out, and we got this olefin structure here. It is a, and again, the next step is very common, PDLX is there, and PD0 we are getting. But this means we can say the reaction was accelerated by means of a copper only, where copper is changing its oxidation state from 0 to 2, or 1 to 2, or 1 to 3. So we accelerate this reaction, and we got this compound, but that is a reverse Hack reaction. This slide I'm just skipping out because time is just going up, but I'm more interested for these reactions. Yes, again this point. Earlier I told you some Sonogashira reaction, SP2 SP reaction. So again, this is what it is, a SP3 here, you can this H. Sonogashira is going for SP2 SP, but I thought, why we don't go for SP3 SP coupling reaction? So this H is active in SP3. It was subjected for acetylene derivatives, and we got these derivatives. So this is something what I told earlier. You all friends, I'm telling you, you are young guys, you are young PhDs. Try to explore chemistry. You will enjoy the things. The things will come to your mind, and you will be able to do it. Try to do a doable work. Where I did, I'm not boosting myself what I did here, but in this case, what novelty I did here, oxygen was used, simple oxygen, purging of oxygen, and a solvent, a basic solvent we have done, and we could able to publish in a this one, Royal Society of Chemistry. Royals in 2016 I published a paper. In this chemistry is very simple. Palladium is there acetate, where I have gone through acetylene reactions, and by this way, one H was activated, and this was done for this one SP3 SP coupling reactions, and where acetic acid and this one has gone out. Now one more thing, just a little no later on, just I'm showing. Yes, this reaction. See, again, what I told you, that I have gone through one H, this side is there, it was activated. Now what I told earlier, various concepts are there. That is a cross dehydrogen coupling reactions, CDC reactions, basically radical transfer mechanism. We people have been teaching in our department in a colleges, that is a dihydroquinone, DCC, DDQ, you are teaching this one. The way I use a DDQ simple oxidant, and at the same paper, what paper I have published here, I have 1 minute, I have published this paper, same work, I did on my cross dihydrogen coupling reactions. These reactions. This you can find this one, the CDC reaction. So same work you can publish again. So in these reactions, again, what novelty is there? I have gone through the concept of a DDQ, that dihydroxylase quinone derivatives. So this DDQ derivatives, this one butoxide was there. It has given one radical. One radical is generated. Again, it was activated by copper and O-butoxide. These are the intermediate steps. Twice bromoniumine, this one butoxides, peroxybutoxides, and this is gone through where water molecule is removed, and this we treated with peroxybutoxides, and this is going for these transformations, and we got this compound. And again, this paper has come in tetrahydrone in 2019. Perhaps I have published one paper in 2020, but that slide I have not kept here because I have not kept it because that is something different chemistry I have discussed. But analog of this one is you can publish. Just now one paper, my paper is in a pipeline right now. That also we have gone through a CDC strategy, cross dehydrogen coupling, where we are going for radical transfer mechanisms, and we can publish the work. Now, okay. Now I'm telling one more things. This is yes. This is yes. This reactions. Sometimes what happens here, we are going for expansion of a ring. An expansion of ring is also a very good chemistry. I'm telling you. What way it is this one? Okay, you see this one, alkyne molecules are there, and you are taking some. This molecule is very simple. I have taken acetophenone only. So when you are doing some work, you have to go for a very basic material which is available in the market. I have taken simple acetophenone. Acetophenone was taken hydrogen hydrate, and a hydrogen hydrate hydrazide compounds we have found. And this hydrazide was treated with the alkyne, and we got an expansion of a ring. So we got a 7-membered ring here. A 7-membered ring, against there is stability of problem is there, but you might have studied some of the drug molecule where 7-membered ring is there, extra stability, and they are very good. They are stabilities because of what? That also we have to find out. But this compound is a potent drug molecules, benzodiazepine derivatives that you might have studied here. Again, mechanism is same. C-bond N, NHP, PH, PDOH twice, going for acetic acid, and this is leading to generation of palladium. Very simple chemistry is here. We understand the ring is there. Ring is a flourish of a H. It is a negative charge. And this negative charge is attacking to a palladium deficient species. Likewise, this compound, and this compound is generated. This is very common. This is very common. Yes. This is a very common step. It is followed by a coordination of a triple bond, all alkynes, and we get this ring. Next reaction is you can say this is an 8-member type ring is there. Elimination of the palladium, and we get this compound. And finally, we get this is a 7-member ring. And that is also a azepine type structure. We got it. One more thing is a very interesting chemistry is here. Okay, the orthoaminophenol. See the global work we are doing. Orthoaminophenol is there. In orthoaminophenol, also we can go for a alkyne derivatives, and you can get a heterocycle compounds. That is a pyrazole compound. This compound you're getting. And in this chemistry also, this paper has come in a Royal Society of Chemistry. That is New Journal of Chemistry, is 2019. This chemistry is a very beautiful chemistry we have used to activate this reaction. See very minutely, friends. In this compound, you're going for a ruthenium chloride reactions on copper acetate. CuCl2 you are using is giving CuCl2. And what a beautiful chemistry here. Okay, this compound bonded ruthenium this complex. It is activating here. Acidic is eliminating. and one bond orthogonophenol we are taking. This is a basic material is a orthogonophenol, where a nitrogen electron pair is sharing with a ruthenium and a complex is generated, which is followed by a complexations between ruthenium NH group, this one, and it is followed by elimination reactions, and we get a cyclization rings. You can see this point. Okay, this is a very complex material is generated, and that complex we are eliminating out as an elimination product, and we get the product. This all reactions, friends, I'm telling you, you can prepare it in a one-pot reaction. It is prepared in a one-pot reaction only. We don't have to go for, see, that's why I'm telling you, okay, if you go for a material having a 3-4 steps are there, so 3-4 steps is very difficult to carry out, because one product you are taking, you are isolating it, remove it, again second material you are finding, third step is there. It is a consumable consumption of a electricity, chemicals, and numbers of issues are there. Instead of doing this, you just set up one reaction in a one-pot reactions, you start material and get a product. That is considered as a good chemistry. It can be said as a good chemistry. With some time shortfall is there. So let us discuss some of the radical. I'm not going to discuss this point again, but just discussing. Yes, this also I'm skipping out. Okay, one Buchwald-Hartwig reaction is there. Simple. See, earlier what we did. Okay, and the chlorobenzene is there plus aniline. You are getting a amino compound. That was it was gone through a benzene mechanism. But we are going by simple Buchwald reaction. This is a simple reaction. I'm not going to discuss this point because it is known to all. Oxidative addition, transmetallation, reductive elimination, and you get the product. But instead of this one, we can find amine can be entered. But more important, if you want to enter a weak nucleophile, I'm telling you this point. This is a simple coumarin molecule we are taking, 4-hydroxycoumarin, where we inserted a pseudohalide, that is OTS was added, because you understand petrosyl is a very good living group, and as living group, my purpose is to enter urea, because urea is a very weak nucleophile. It is to be entered in a sp2 hybridase. It's very difficult reaction. So instead of this one, we did these reactions. OTS is just eliminating, and urea was entered. And then likewise, methylates also other derivatives we had taken, and that paper has come in 2013, where a weak nucleophile was entered in a sp2 hybridase molecules. That is a Royal Society chemistry in 2013 paper has come. Analog of this one, we used to work on a S-triazine derivatives, and there also we just tried for a urea derivatives, and we got this one urea derivatives. That also come in a, consequently, at a 1 year, I got 2 publications in a good journal. It's Royal Society of this one and Royal Society of this one, 2013. One was a simple coumarin, one was a pyridine, coumarin, S-triazine. Could able to do these reactions. Mechanism was also very interesting. Now, lesson 1 point. We are going, first slide I have shown you, there's a halide or a pseudo-halide where a urea or any weak nucleophile can be added. But instead, we can go for not halide, simple benzene plus amine. It is an amazing thing I am telling you. Simple benzene plus aniline and biphenyl. It is a very good chemistry because we understand it's beyond the things. So this can get activation reactions. But this reaction, just I'm showing one reaction, just like this. What I told you, this point, if thiazolidinone is there, where I'm exploring this edge. This edge is to be treated, it's to be explored with a aniline to get NH this bond. That is sp3 sp2 coupling reactions, sp3 sp2 bond formation, and where we did this reaction in a presence of copper only, and cesium carbonate as air as oxidizing agent. And in this reactions, it's a very beautiful mechanism. When I submitted this paper in Chemics Select, so editor asked me for various mechanisms. Perhaps according to his instructions, I kept on doing these mechanisms, changing the mechanisms, and I have proposed inspirations from this work, and I got 2 mechanisms. Okay, when you can say copper means of this base is there, where this is activated, and the copper ligand is there. Copper ligand, you are getting this species here, and it is by reductive elimination and treatment of the amine, we got this compound NH2. Again, oxidation of these reactions, various oxidation, both path A and path B, we could able to go for this amine addition of the amines, or we could able to insert sp2 aniline in sp3 thiazolidinone. Consequently, other mechanism also we have published in a tetrahedron letter. Similar reactions, you can see this point. Same reactions, amine is there, thiazolidinone and amine coupling by means of copper. We got same molecule. In this case, this is a hydantoin. This molecule, hydantoin, it is a simple friend. It's a thiazolidinone derivative only. Thiourea you are taking, chloroacetic acid, you go for cyclizations, and you get a thiohydantoin structures. This thiohydrin, my purpose is to activate this H. Now this H, was done with amine, and we got this amine derivatives. There is also a CH-NH coupling reactions, and that paper has come in tetrahedron letters in 2018. Mechanism is very interesting predictions. That is of it is also going through a radical transfer mechanisms, okay, where the butoxide is there. This is the butanol. This butoxide is oxide radical generated, inserted to these positions, and this reaction was activated by means of Fe2, transfer is from Fe2 to Fe3, and we got this compound where a NH bond has just shifted to these positions, and we got this compound. In a very simple work, but some novelty we find that paper is appearing in these reactions in tetrahedron letters. Now, so carbene reactions are very interesting chemistry, where you find some novelty of the reactions. I'm just saying one I can send you to Wasawa sir. You can circulate this point. If the reactivity of a particular carbene depends on the substituent groups, the reactivity can be affected by metals. I've been reading this point, but let us see one reaction. This reaction is known to all, Riemann-Tiemann reaction. But application of Riemann-Tiemann reaction, I just see this point where we can generate a carbene, and carbene is going for insertion reaction. That is also, you might have studied some of the Shapiro reactions. But I'm just telling one point here. This is also, I'm not going to skip it out. I'm just going to skip it. Yes, you must be knowing this was Simon-Smith reactions where we can get a cyclopropane amine, cyclopropyl derivatives, or 3-member ring. Similarly, this compound, first is a butyl lithium, H is going out, carbene is generated, and vicinal H, it go for cyclopropane derivatives. But listen one point here. Yes, this is reaction. Again, acetophenone was there, tosyl hydrazine, and this compound we got it. This is the reactions. It is a very interesting chemistry. It is just like, this is like a Witting type reactions. We got this is a double bond at these positions. So mechanism is interesting. I did nothing, no chemistry here. PD0 is there. It's a PDL4, L3, L2, 0. 4-hydroxycoumarin, OTS hydroxy is there. Replaced with tosyl, O2S is there. But PDOTS is there. Now, a simple other molecule, that is a acetophenone. Acetophenone was tosyl, subjected for tosyl hydrazide, nitrogen, and nitrogen is eliminating, and we are going a carbene. Carbene is there, and carbene is going for insertion reactions. Carbene insertion reaction, and where we got this compound, followed by removal of the PDO twice, and we got this compound, and we finally got this compound. So right now, some chemistry, likewise here also the same things. Again, this is a paper has come in a tetrahedron letters. No chemistry, I'm telling you, simple chemistry, but only the things that you do just to execute the things, what materials you are using and what way you can synthesize the molecules. And this is also come in tetrahedron letters. Mechanism is little bit tricky. This is a pyridine structure was there. P3 of this one, we got this one analog complex is there. And this complex has made inserted to these reactions. It was allowed, this is a common step, but this reaction was facilitated by carbene formation. Given acetophenone, hydrazide, tosylate, nitrogen is there. It is a very common reaction. Everybody knows this reaction. And this nitrogen is decomposed and generation of the carbene. Now to this carbene, if palladium is a positive charge, is attacking, and you get this compound complex. This complex is decomposed, and you are getting a final compound, this one. So this is the work I have done here. One more thing I want to discuss it because this is this is a one picture I am showing you. What is the role of electron donating and withdrawing group? But this is a better way. Yes, this is only my last slide. I am telling you summary of the carbene. there are more prospects or more work is possible from a carbene chemistry. RH is there, go for oxidative addition, transmetallations, RM is generated. And to this M, you just generate a carbene. The carbene chemistry is a very versatile, or is a very, very new insights to find, new molecules you can prepare from carbene, where migrating insertion reaction is there, transmetallation is there, elimination is there, substitution, and numbers of these things are possible. So with this, I don't waste more time, and I stop summarize the things here only. What are the doable works, or the things which I have shown you? I shall be happy if any questions are there. Please share your questions.